Hi, Matt here from Fit Confident You. Hope you're safe and well. I thought it might be potentially useful to talk about my Fit Confident journey. How I became a Fit Confident me. There's been ups and downs, but I'm going to break it down into before I was working as a personal trainer and basically how I keep it going, what I've learned and how I sustain it. So that's another video. Look out for that soon. 6 key points I thought would be really useful to share. So, number 1. I started trying things. In my 20s, wasn't doing much of the old fitness. And I still had this leftover feeling that fitness and sport and things like that were for other people. Things that other people did, not me. Because I'd come from growing up at school, went to a school that was very rugby focused. I was a very small, slim child, didn't like being beaten up in the winter, playing rugby in the mud for 2 hours. And I sort of had just learned that that was how you did fitness and sport, and it wasn't for me, and that was what I took with me. Clearly not true, and I'm grateful that I sort of started to step out of that comfort zone or uncomfort zone. So I started trying things. I started joining a boot camp, got me a bit fitter, quite like that, an outdoor one. Joined the gym. That was another turning point of just sort of trying things out and seeing what lifted me up and made me feel better. Those 2 things alone were really helpful, just because it suddenly realized that you could do things, okay, boot camp in a group, but gym by yourself. It didn't have to be team sports or things like that where there was pressure from other people. And I know sometimes walking into a gym, and I remember this, feeling gym-intimidated or just feeling not like I didn't belong there. And that is a journey we all have to go on by ourselves to realize that actually people aren't looking. And I managed to get through that with a bit of help from other people. And then again, that's something I can talk about another time. But once you get over that, you can start to see the gym as a bit of almost a playground. And the same with all the fitness and sports and things that I started doing. That leads me to my second point. I started to see it as an adventure, as an opportunity, imagine that I lived in a house all my life, and then when I was in my 20s, suddenly found a hidden room that I'd never discovered before, didn't know was there. And that was what it felt like, realizing, oh, I can change my body and develop it and get stronger. And oh, hold on, there's a lovely positive effect of my mindset as well, how I'm feeling, my energy levels, my sleep, all of these things. Just, it was like, or turning a page in a book where there had been pages that have been stuck together and you realize, hold on, I've missed a whole chapter here on how I can feel better. Surely the greatest gift of all we can give ourselves. So going into it with a sort of wide-eyed, I wonder what's possible. Maybe I'll try this. Let's see. How does that feel? Really helped me sustain it. At the same time as well, I don't know why I managed to do this, because it was quite useful. And I think not everyone does this, but this is my gift to you, so I'm going to tell you. Listen to your body as soon as possible. So I was achy, certainly at the start, and sort of getting into it and trying new things and realizing, oh, what's going on here with this experience? But I didn't try to overdo it. I had this, I'm going to take this sensibly and slowly. And that really is something that I imbue in all of my Fit Confident You programs as well. So helping people realize there's no end date to this. There's so much flexibility. Give people breathing space. And it can all just sort of start to slot into their lives, all the different elements of what we do. And the same for your fitness, whether we're working together or not. Take it steadily. Okay, you might have a plan in your mind to say, I'm going to do 3 workouts this week. But you know, life happens. God, if anything the last year has taught us, it's that life happens unexpectedly. So it's okay if you don't get your workouts in. Don't apply any pressure or guilt to yourself around them, because that will only make it feel like a chore or something you're being forced to do or something unpleasant or uncomfortable. The more you can see it as something just to steadily work on, figure out how it slots into your life bit by bit. That's when it all starts to make sense. Just that bit more, bit by bit. The next thing, number 4. I started looking around at professionals and tried out various different PTs. Now, at the gym I was at, different PTs who were, this is obviously before I was a PT myself, a lot of the PTs there would give you a free session or just would like give you a, say, free 10 or 15 minutes. So it gave me loads of opportunities just to ask for help and practice my form and see what I was doing and see what I could learn from them. And I also worked with some separately there and at other gyms as well. Now, some of them were great PTs, some of them were, you know, not so great, but that's cool. the important thing was I learned something from each of them. Again, I went into it as a learning experience, not with a, oh yes, when people, you're trying to teach something to someone and they say yes, 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 every time you've said something. You don't know it. Stop saying yes every time. So try to go into things like that just as I am a sponge. I'm going to soak up all this experience and see how it helps me, what I can learn from it, how I can progress. And of course, you don't need to take everything as written. Take everything with a pinch of salt, adjust it for your needs, your situation, your goals. But there was something that each of them could teach me, and I was paying for the experience and I wanted to get something useful out of it. So working with professionals is absolutely something that everyone does at any level of success in any sphere, not just fitness, in business, in personal development, in everything. And it just allows you to get somewhere quicker, do things that other people have done before. Definitely. There's nothing new in the world. You can get there without making the mistakes they do. And that's what I imbue all of my programs with. I've made mistakes. Let's help it. So let's maneuver it so you don't make those mistakes as well. Number 5, I started getting curious and excited about it. So I started reading and watching and listening to more and more that I could about fitness, the body, how it changed. Now, I get you don't have to suddenly dive into like really specific body and anatomy books and things like that, because I realized by that point I was starting to get really interested in fitness, how it all worked, and there was sort of a kernel of an idea in my head that maybe I could work in this industry one day. And so that was the sort of germination of the kernel to move forward and start thinking more. But and that was basically, this was about 12, 13 years ago. Now, oh my God, obviously there's so much more information out there. And I know sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming, but just choose a few sources that you rely on and trust and start to read up and listen, because there are, again, so much you can learn out there. And also, as with working with the PTs, you don't have to take everything as read. You don't have to take everything as it's written. Take it with a pinch of salt and see if there are elements you can bring into your training, your life, your world to benefit you. With that as well, I also started reaching out to people that I knew who were interested in this, who were training themselves or into fitness, and I just gravitated towards them a bit more. And you might be thinking, oh, they don't want to help me or whatever. I can categorically tell you, 100% of the time, everyone was happy to help me. Give me advice, support, go to the gym with me when that was allowed. It'll be back soon, I promise. They loved to share and inspire because they knew how much it had helped them and lifted them in so many different ways. So a noob like me, who was, again, this sponge looking for my direction of what I wanted to do and what I could learn, it was amazing. And every single one of, like I said, my friends, my colleagues, anyone I asked was always happy to talk about it, share their knowledge, because someone had helped them. This is this beautiful positive ripple effect of information, of knowledge, of support, of love, of energy, and it lifts people. A rising tide lifts all boats. As you start to look after yourself, you will naturally help and inspire other people, and people will come to you, and you can share that knowledge and support and energy, and so it will spread out further. It's a beautiful thing. So there we go. I started trying new things. I saw it as an adventure or an opportunity. I listened to my body, so I didn't take it hell for leather, and I took it at my own pace, a sensible pace. I tried different PTs, different professionals. I started reading, researching, seeing what was out there to learn from, and I asked for help from friends and support from friends and people I knew. And those 6 things really helped me form a good rhythm with my fitness, with my health, with my well-being, with all of that, and got me more and more curious and excited about what was possible, what I could do, hey, how I could even start to help people. But that's for another video, so I'll be filming that shortly. But let me know what you think. Hey, if you'd like more of these sort of helpful videos, have a quick subscribe on that video, or even on the subscribe link. Hey, you can do it on both, because there's more coming, and I'm so proud to be able to say that I love what I do, and I love being able to help people, and I love even more seeing my clients and the people I work with raise up and lift and inspire people around them, because like I said, that positive ripple effect just keeps spreading. Shout with any questions, leave them in the comments. I will see them. I will always reply. Anything else I can help with, let me know.